Hello learners, welcome to all of you on online classes. Today we will discuss company under the heading of forms of business organization. As the partnership organization came into existence to remove the weakness of the sole trade, similarly a new business organization was born in the form of company organization. The partnership business suffers from the defect of shortage of capital, unlimited liability, lack of managerial capability, lack of stability, and so on, which happens to be the hurdle in a big size business also. The need for the companies came to be felt to overcome these limitations. The capital of the companies is divided into shares of a small amount, as a result of which every rich and poor has the capacity to buy them. The attraction of limited liability also draws people towards companies. The meaning of company. Broadly speaking, the word company connotes two ideas in a legal sense. Number one, the members of the association are so numerous that it cannot actually be described as a firm or a partnership. And second, a member may transfer his interest in the association without the consent of other members. Such an association may be incorporated according to law, whereupon it becomes a body corporate, or what is usually called a corporation with perpetual succession and a common seal. It is then regarded as a legal person, separate and distinct from its members. Company is that form of business organization which is willingly established by some person for earning profit under the Companies Act. Many persons jointly invest capital in a company, and therefore it is also called joint stock company. Its capital is divided into transferable shares, which means that its shares can be generally bought and sold. Liability of its members is limited. Okay, so the definition of company. According to the Companies Act 1956, Section 311 defines a company formed and registered under this Act, or an existing company. An existing company means a company formed and registered under any of the previous company law. Secondly, a company is an artificial person created by law with a separate legal identity, परपेचुअल सक्सेशन एंड कॉमन सील. कंपनी जो है एक आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन है विच इज क्रिएटेड बाय द लॉ with a separate legal identity. The company has separate legal identity. They have the perpetual succession and a common seal. Now we will discuss about the features of company. Under the features of company, on the basis of the definition, the features of a company are: number one, artificial person. A company is an artificial person created by law in India. This law is in the form of the Companies Act 1956. A company is an incorporated or registered association of persons. Under the Companies Act, no single individual can form a company. A minimum number of 7 persons can form a public company, while the minimum number of 2 persons can form a private company. A company is an association of persons which has more than one person. Its registration is essential. ओके, कंपनी जो है वह एक आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन है अकॉर्डिंग टू कंपनी एक्ट 1956। पब्लिक कंपनी में मिनिमम 7 पर्सन्स होने चाहिए और प्राइवेट कंपनी में मिनिमम 2 पर्सन्स होने चाहिए कंपनी को फॉर्मेशन करने के लिए, कंपनी को फॉर्म करने के लिए। नाउ टू द सेकेंड पॉइंट। A company is called artificial person because it is only a creation of law. It is an invisible individual having no body and soul. A company cannot perform physical action like other ordinary human being, but it has all the legal rights to proceed against anybody, can hold property as an owner, maintain it or sell it, and can write bill of exchange. So we can say the company is an artificial person. Next point is separate legal entity. A company has a separate legal entity. It can hold property in its name, enter into an agreement with others. The existence of a company is separate and free from its members. A company can keep property in its name and enter into agreement. It can file suit against anybody and it can also be sued. All the liabilities and assets belong to the company itself and not to the owner. Like the partnership organization, the members of a company are not bound by the action of the company, and the company is also not responsible for the action of its members. Okay, next one is perpetual succession. Under the perpetual succession, a company has a perpetual succession, meaning that it can exist on a continuous basis irrespective of a change in the pattern of shareholders. Okay, the life of a company is comparatively more stable than all the other forms of business organization because a company is an artificial person and therefore there is no question of its natural death. At the same time, it is not affected by the death or bankruptcy of some shareholders or director. Since it is a legal person which is created by law, it can go out of existence only through the legal process. ओके, सो हम जानते हैं कि कंपनी जो है वो एक आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन है। सो इसका किसी भी तरह से कोई नेचुरल डेथ नहीं होता है या किसी भी शेयर होल्डर या डायरेक्टर के डेथ या बैंकरप्सी होने से इफेक्टिव नहीं होता है, because it is a legal person which is created by the law. It can go out of existence only through the legal process, right? The next one is common seal. The company has a common seal which affect on an important document as a token of the company's approval. Means a company being an artificial person cannot put its signature. जैसे कि आप लोग सभी जानते हैं कि कंपनी जो है वह एक आर्टिफिशियल पर्सन है विच इज़ क्रिएटेड बाय द लॉ, तो वो अपना सिग्नेचर नहीं कर सकता. अंडर द कंपनीज एक्ट द राइट टू यूज अ कॉमन सील हैज़ बीन गिवन टू इट. कॉमन सील इज अ स्पेशल सील bearing the name of the company and which remains in the possession of its secretary. It is essential to have the common seal along with the signature of at least 2 directors as witness to give any document a legal shape. Next point is formation. A company is formed under the provision of the relevant act after completing certain formalities. कंपनी का जो फॉर्मेशन है उसके इस्टेब्लिशमेंट जो है वह जो लीगल फॉर्मेलिटीज़ हैं उसको कंप्लीट करने के बाद ही कंपनी का फॉर्मेशन किया जा सकता है. नेक्स्ट पॉइंट इज लिमिटेड लायबिलिटी. लायबिलिटी ऑफ शेयर होल्डर्स of a company is limited to the extent of the value of shares subscribed by them. The liability of the shareholders in the company is generally limited to the value of their share. The word generally here means that the company can be of unlimited liability or limited liability through a guarantee, but its usage is almost negligible because of the huge liabilities or huge losses. It can only demand the balance of call amount on the shares from its members. Because of the legal status or existence of the company, all the liabilities rest on the company itself and not on the members for the transfer of shares. Next heading is transferability of shares. Shares of the companies are transferable freely except private companies. The shares of the public companies can be freely transferred. Companies are two types, the public company and private company. In a public company, the shares can be transferred freely. But in a private company, it is not possible. It means that there is no legal restriction on their sale and purchase, and unlike the partnership business, there is no need to seek prior approval of other members for the transfer of share. Next point is management and control. The ultimate authority of management and control of a company lies with its shareholders. You know, the number of owners or shareholders in the company business is large and they are spread to distant places. They cannot interfere in the day-to-day routine of the company. Therefore, in order to run the affair of the company, they elect their representative, who are called directors. The board of directors is known as the managing body, which manages the company's business. So the management, or so you can say the board of directors and the ownership, that is shareholders, are separate in the company organization. Next heading is risk bearing. In the case of a company, that business risk is spread very widely among the numerous shareholders. In the sole trade, all the risks have to be borne by a single individual, while in a partnership, only a few individuals face the risk. In case of company, the risk gets divided among numerous shareholders and nobody feels the burden. That is why the company does not hesitate to undertake more risk ventures. Okay? So students, I hope all of you enjoy this company, the meaning of company, definition of company, and the features of company. Okay?